So this was a week where the January 6th hearings continued on, some sessions with incredible ratings, as we've mentioned. We learned a few things. We learned that a representative named, I think his name is Barry Loudermilk. Just a very unfortunate, like, did his mom name him that as he was like screaming for the boob? Like, he just gets louder for the milk. All right. So he gave a tour to some of the same dudes who broke into the Capitol, the same rioters, just a day before. There's a new video about that. We also learned that there was a lot of internal Trump lawyer drama around what was legal, what was most definitely illegal. Specifically, a guy named John Eastman, who was one of his lawyers, who was trying to basically argue that, yes, the vice president on the dais, the day of that he's supposed to confirm all the electors and the election results, can just decide that he's not going to do that and give the presidency to the other team, and just decide who's going to be president. But here is Trump lawyer Eric Herschmann giving his thoughts specifically on that strategy that Eastman was floating so many days up to the riots.
He described for me what he thought the ambiguity was in the statute, and he was walking through it at that time. And I said, hold on a second, I want to understand what you're saying. You're saying that you believe the vice president, acting as president of the Senate, can be the sole decision maker as to, under your theory, who becomes the next president of the United States? And you said yes. And I said, are you out of your effing mind? Right? And that was pretty blunt. I said, you're completely crazy. I said, you're going to turn around and tell 78 plus million people in this country that your theory is this is how you're going to invalidate their votes because you think the election was stolen? And I said, they're not going to tolerate that. I said, you're going to cause riots in the streets. And he said words to the effect of, there's been violence in the history of our country, Eric, to protect the democracy or protect the republic.
So effectively, it wouldn't be the first time. Who cares?
I really wanted to listen to him, but that art, he has a black bat that says justice and metal scalps on his wall. I don't.
Mike is room rating the lawyer right now.
I just have so many questions. Like, why is he live streaming from Mocha? Why?
Okay, there's also like it's a panda / Apocalypse Now movie poster. It's like Panda Apocalypse Now. Like he's like the panda slowly going into the water. Yeah, there's some bad art happening behind him, but what about the substance? He's saying you're out of your effing mind. I think he means fucking mind. I think. And essentially, like, everyone thought Eastman was crazy. Everyone thought that Eastman was peddling something illegal. And actually, it seems like this guy, John Eastman himself, kind of like dabbled in it. Is this legal? Is it not legal? He eventually admitted that it was not legal, and then he continued to support it. He was on the stage next to Trump and a lot of speakers on January 6th. He's there looking like a weird Dick Tracy type character. But the best part is that he ultimately knew what he was advocating for was illegal. And so he tried to cover his ass by asking for a pardon from Rudy Giuliani. And this is an email on how exactly he worded that ask.
Dr. Eastman emailed Rudy Giuliani and requested that he be included on a list of potential recipients of a presidential pardon. Dr. Eastman's email stated, quote, "I've decided that I should be on the pardon list, if that is still in the works." Dr. Eastman did not receive his presidential pardon.
Narrator voice. He did not receive his presidential pardon. I don't even think Giuliani received his presidential pardon. I mean, let alone any lawyer fees. That dude is obviously, I've said this, paid in like Kirkland whiskey. But so I just love I've decided that I should probably be on the presidential pardon list if that's still in the works. There's so much like sycophant, but also like strong man, like trying to do both, you know?
Like, what is the boldest way I can appear scared?
Exactly. And so someone grabbed that line and put it in a still of Tom Wamsgans from Succession, and it's just the fucking best. I've decided I should be on the presidential pardon list if that's still in the works.
Oh my God. How many presidential pardon lists have been made by obvious criminals themselves? How often does that happen?
I feel like this was the one instance where we truly felt like, oh no, you're not, the criminals are just writing it themselves. Whereas like before, I think that like Obama or Clinton pardoned like a friend of a friend. Like there was one or two sort of transgressions. I was like on a plane watching live television when Obama pardoned Chelsea Manning, and I was crying.
Oh,
very happy. Yeah. And then Julian Assange, which by the way didn't make the roundup, but never got that pardon from Trump that he wanted. Obviously free Julian Assange. I think he's a little bit of a dipshit / a big dipshit, but I don't think he should be extradited to the United States. But it is funny.
Confused. I'm so confused about all of that. I don't know how I stopped knowing what to think and feel about Julian Assange a few years ago now.
Oh, I think that's for the best. I mean, the main thing is let's protect freedom of the press and whistleblowers and all that. And he should not be extradited to the United States. But also, he most definitely was a back channel for the Trump administration because he was hedging his bets. He believed Trump would pardon him. He was in touch with like a bunch of Trump officials in the lead up to the 2016 election, and was probably responsible for the DNC leaks. Like this is, I mean, I know people will just call me like a Russia gator, but that's the backstory. The guy's been very lost, to say nothing of his, alleged sexual misconduct. So what's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do